Good morning, everybody. This is Judith A. Cole. You're listening to Mad Love. Let's get into it. So, Jesse Jackson passed away, I see. That's one of the first headlines I saw this morning. I have so many mixed emotions about him. You know, I remember when we were growing up, it was very clear that he said that he was, there for Dr. King. He was on Dr. King's team and he was helping Dr. King. But years later, it almost sounds like he really wasn't in the proximity that he made it seem. And he used that moment to gain momentum by kind of lying about it. He made sure to be in the photo op, but he really wasn't there for the actual shooting, if I'm remembering it correctly. Something like that. And so that always made me, not always, because I didn't know that originally. And I knew I found him to be opportunistic. And he ran for president. I was just talking to my friend about it, and yes, the first time we were so young, it seemed, oh, that's nice. And I think he made a dent. I think the second time, I think he won a state or something. I want to say in '88. But then it became so performative for me. I remember he did a couple of Democratic national conventions. The last one I recall was George W. Bush, I think, was running for maybe the first time. I can't remember, but he kept screaming, "Stay out the bushes! Stay out the bushes!" And I was like, okay. I don't know, I just have mixed feelings about him. And I think that was long before I found out the picture was like more staged so he could look like he was really there. And if that's slander, if that's wrong, I apologize. But I do remember reading an article about that. And I was like, man, gosh, people will lie about anything. And so if that's true, that he really wasn't, standing right next to him or whatever he was making it seem like when Dr. King was assassinated. And it was just like all these people just used that moment. And you can go back in time and look, I don't know if this is as important historically, but it was a pivotal time. If you go back and look at the Mike Brown situation with and at the heart of this, I want to be clear. I think it's a tragedy that young man died. I do. I feel sorry for his mom. That is something that no mother should have to endure. I feel sorry for his dad. But at the same time, I do recognize accountability, and I have read enough about that case, and I talked to the prosecutors who worked on that case, including Mr. McCullough, but the ones who actually worked up the case. It was clear that it was very challenging to say that Michael Brown was innocent, if you really read the facts. But that's when I discovered people don't care about the facts. They care about how they feel. And they wanted to vilify Darren Wilson because it just had to be somebody's fault. But the reality is, it's a complicated case made very simple by the fact that it was 2014, super hot day. Everybody had cell phone footage. They were all out there filming, and yet none of that footage was turned over. And the only explanation for that is because Mike did not look innocent in the footage, so they kept it. And that I can prove is probably true because I've worked on 2 murders in Canfield Green since Mike Brown's passing, and we worked those cases with video from somebody standing on the balcony or standing near the parking lot, or they were there and they filmed it and they turned the evidence over to the police, because that's how it normally works. So anyway, I said a lot of words. All I really want to point out is there are a lot of people that came out of that turmoil as quote-unquote activists, and they really used that situation as a launching pad to a career. And I think that's what Jesse Jackson did. And there's no I mean, there's no way to prove now, of course, if he was as involved or right there, or I don't know. All I'm saying is people use situations to their advantage, and you can either take them at face value or not. And so once I read that article, and I was never really a big fan of Jesse Jackson. I felt like he was a bully. Oh, and that's the other thing. Do you remember when the mic was live? And this was before I started questioning Obama. But like Jesse said some crazy shit about Obama. I forgot what he it was just like some crabs in a barrel shit. I need to look it up, but it was just so interesting. And he was like, and he ain't. Let me look it up. I'm not gonna be happy till I remember that. But it was just like, oh, he is really, really, not. He's pretending to be happy, because remember they had him crying or whatever when Obama won, but then they caught him on that live mic. And he was just saying nasty shit. And then it's like, are you really crying? It was very interesting. Here it goes. The controversial moment with Barack Obama. Let me see if this is going to tell me what it is. That was wild, man. In the summer of 2008, as Barack Obama's improbable march toward the White House gathered momentum, an aging civil rights titan leaned over during a television break, unaware that his microphone was still live, and whispered words that would instantly become one of the most startling political hot mic moments in modern American history. Jesse Jackson, veteran of marches, jail cells, presidential campaigns, and moral crusades, muttered that Obama had been talking down to black people and that he wanted to cut off his manhood. Yeah, see, they made it nicer. I forgot how he said it originally, but it was horrible. That's the gist of it. Yeah, see, it's not just my imagination. I remember that was something else that made me be like, whoa. I think he said something like he wanted to cut his nuts off. It was crazy. And they both were out of Chicago. I'm sure he had some very, very strong opinions about Barack, obviously behind closed doors. And then he got out there and said some crazy shit. It was something like that. That paper was very nice. But yeah. Rest in peace, Reverend Jackson. Rest in peace, and I hope you accomplished the things that you wanted to accomplish on the planet. My guy, one of my favorite actors died, Robert Duval. The Consigliere from The Godfather is my favorite role. He was also very good in Falling Down with Michael Douglas. So rest in peace, Robert Duval. Very measured, very good actor. Yeah, and we're in a season. We're in eclipse season. I think we've got our first annular solar eclipse today. It's the Chinese New Year today. And one other thing. So get ready. We've got a lot of energy going. The sun has been going bananas. It's just a lot going on. And energetically, they try to strip you out of your spiritual side and your energetic side, and make you focus solely on your body. But in reality, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and these energies do affect us. And so, the Chinese New Year, this is the year of the fire horse. So say goodbye to the snake and hello to the fire horse. From what I can understand, it's just going to be a year of endings and new beginnings. So be intentional, be focused about what you want. If you want better health or good health, then claim it. Just claim it. I want to be healthy. I'm committed to being healthy this year. I started doing some affirmations, and so one of my favorite ones right now is I allow and receive a life free from holding patterns, because I feel like I've been held up quite a bit, and I don't want to do that anymore. And another one I like is I'm safe to receive without overworking or over-explaining. Thank you very much. It's safe for things to work out for me. That's another favorite. One of my favorite ones for sure is I am allowed to have an easy life. And that one, you're going to have a lot of resistance to that. You already are like, easy life, because at first it started off saying I'm allowed to have an easier life. And then I changed it to I am allowed to have an easy life. And you too will have resistance to that, because we've been brainwashed to think that everything has to be hard, or every time things are going smoothly, something has to happen. We say things like, it's always something. Well, don't talk like that anymore. You're allowed to have an easy life. You're allowed to be happy. You're allowed to enjoy your days. And if no one's giving you permission, I'm giving you permission. So, we got a lot of energy moving through the world. A lot of energy moving through us. And it's our job to be love and light in this time of darkness. And it'll end. Because I think evil right now is being exposed probably the most it's ever been in anybody's lifetime that's alive right now. I mean, this is insane. People are telling on themselves. They're getting into these interviews and just, lying or saying something now that exposes a lie from before. People are exposing themselves in real time. There's all kinds of bizarre confessions and, people obviously realizing that, if I confess to this, then I'm saying that I'm in the Epstein files or shit like that, or I knew this shit was going on and I didn't do anything about it. And it is apparent that this government does not want to punish people for that, because that means the president would be punished. And all these redactions, all of this is to try to protect Donald Trump, because he either forgot, which is a real possibility, or he thought, well, I've handpicked everybody that would handle these files, so clearly they won't be too stupid to redact my name. But your name appears like 1 million times. I think he just was so arrogant and so dead set on getting into this office that he promised people things that he couldn't deliver on. And I have no idea why anybody would run on opening the Epstein files when you in the files. I'm telling you, man, we are in an interesting time. And I'm glad to share it with you. I hope you have an amazing day today. I hope you recognize this is the beginning of some high energy. And if you use it intentionally, you can transform your life. I really believe that. They're counting on you not being energized. They're counting on you not being healthy. They're counting on you not to pay attention. But this is the most opportune time in history for anybody alive right now to make an impact spiritually, physically, emotionally. You can change the world just by being your best self today. You can. They can't stop us. And they're telling on themselves. Pam Bondi, she's an embarrassment. This woman is a professional attorney. She ought to be really, really embarrassed to come on television and sound as incompetent and inept as she does. She won't be able to practice law. They might not take her license, but man, they should. But they might not take her license, but who's going to sign up to go work with her? She sounds crazy. Because you're only in this office now. You're 60 years old. You could be alive for another 30 years. What you gonna do? You up here making a fool of yourself and your career for these dirty, nasty old men. And for every woman that is hiding or covering bad behavior from these Epstein files, fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Because if I found out that anybody's daughter was exploited and trafficked and raped, or possibly worse than that, and I just sat on my hands like, well, that's just them. That's just an isolated incident or whatever. I don't know what these people do to justify this type of behavior. I don't know how you rationalize that. But Pam Bondi ought to be ashamed. Kash Patel, what a liar. You sat up and talked all this shit on these podcasts about what you would do when you got the job, and now you're not doing any of it because you're fucking scared. We know that they probably made you a proposition that now you're hung up, because many people believe his girlfriend that he's so worried about is an asset, like a honeypot. That's what they call them. They send you a girlfriend who gets all your secrets, and then she's actually a double agent. You know, this is some shit off of like a Netflix show or House of Cards. I think I'm not gonna renew Netflix. Oh, I'm gonna keep Netflix because there's a new Peaky Blinders coming out in March. But before I cancel it again, I'm going to watch Peaky Blinders, and I'm going to rewatch the good seasons of House of Cards. I think they were trying to tell us, and we just thought it was a good thriller show. But I think it's pointing to, because there's even an episode where he goes to some place that's kind of like Bohemian Grove. They call it Elysian Fields or something. David Fincher. Listen, check it out. We're going to watch House of Cards. But Elysian Fields is in like season 4. It's not in the first early seasons. But when it comes up, we need to pay attention. That's Bohemian Grove. Yeah? So, they've been playing in our faces, dude. But yeah, I don't know how these women justify covering bad behavior for these men. But Pam Bondi ought to be ashamed of herself. She needs to give her lawyer card and woman card back. Because what she is doing is insufferable. And there's so many of these wives and all these women who cover for this bad behavior from men, because I'm going to guess it's because they don't want to lose their lifestyle. Look at Camille Cosby. Those women knew what they were getting into. Oh, okay. Did they? So it's not Bill's fault that he wanted to fuck around. And not just fuck around, like knock people out cold, allegedly. But there's plenty of evidence that he did that. And so Camille Cosby's response is, well, the women knew what they were getting. Did they? Did they know they were going to get knocked out cold and raped? Because you can't give consent if you're knocked out cold. Women who don't protect other women suck. You might as well go stand over there with the men and be useless, like most of them are. Burn. I'm serious. I love men, but at this age, when you get postmenopausal and your hormones aren't driving all your decisions about them, you can look at them more objectively. A lot of them ain't great. And they don't age the way we do. That's a whole nother podcast. I might do a round table on that. And I love men. No one has been more of an apologist for them than me. But come on, this is getting ridiculous. Imagine a world without them. No rape, no crime. Oh, I digress. Please have an amazing Tuesday. And happy Chinese New Year. Go be great.